The story begins with a small family starting fresh in a quiet new town. Evelyn, her husband Red, and their young son Cain have recently moved into a new home, hoping to leave their past behind and begin a peaceful life. The family is in the middle of renovating their house, trying to make it feel like home. Evelyn, who has some basic carpentry skills, is seen working on a small wooden shelf in the opening scenes. She carefully places a few small sculptures on it. This simple act shows her attempt to bring warmth and order to their life. While she's working, she receives a message from her husband, Red. He's working as a supervisor on a construction site and is currently busy helping workers on location. In his message, he tells Evelyn that Cain's school principal had called and that she should pick him up and bring him home. Evelyn heads to the school, where she meets the principal, Miss Rayleigh. She is kind and polite, but also concerned about Cain. He's been showing troubling behavior and hasn't adjusted well to the new environment. Evelyn thanks her for her patience, and Miss Rayleigh assures her that with time, Cain will settle in and things will get better. Evelyn then goes to find Cain, who is sitting alone, away from the other children. She gives him a small toy to cheer him up, and it works. Cain smiles. As they sit in the car, Evelyn gently asks him about his day. Cain, clearly upset, complains that he doesn't like the school, the kids are mean, and the teachers are no better. Evelyn tries to comfort him, explaining that just because someone seems bad doesn't mean they are. She also reminds him that this is the only good school in town and that she and Red are doing their best for him. The next day, Evelyn is working at home again when she gets a call from her mother. They're chatting when the doorbell rings. At the door is Uriah, a mute spiritual medium and Evelyn's old friend. She believes in spiritual energy and has called him before to bless the house. Since Uriah cannot speak, he communicates through gestures. They sit and talk for a while, but things take a turn when Red returns home with Cain, who looks very upset. Later, Red tells Evelyn that Cain had gotten into a fight at school. He had been bullied and ended up hitting another child. As a result, he's been suspended for 3 days. Red then questions Evelyn about Uriah's presence, pointing out that this is the 3rd time she's invited him over in a week. Evelyn says she wants the house to be spiritually clean and safe, but Red, who doesn't believe in such things, asks her to send Uriah away. Reluctantly, Evelyn politely tells Uriah to come back next week. That evening, both parents sit down with Cain to discipline him. They tell him that for the next 2 weeks, he won't be allowed to watch TV or play video games. They also warn Cain that if his behavior doesn't improve, the punishment will be extended even further. Evelyn then tries to cheer him up by announcing they'll be going on a trip the next day. Cain gets excited. He wakes up early and eagerly wakes his parents. They're going to the nearby woods for a short family outing. And the goal is simple: some fresh air, quality time together, and maybe a chance to reset things for Cain. Even during the trip, Evelyn and Red are still concerned about their son's behavior. Evelyn worries he's not adjusting well. Red tries to reassure her, saying that with time and patience, things will fall into place. To surprise Evelyn, Red has a small gift for her. He's created an online store for her woodworking crafts, a thoughtful gesture to show his support for her creativity. Evelyn is touched by the gesture. While Cain plays on his own, Evelyn and Red begin looking for him after realizing he's wandered off. Their search leads them to a strange, isolated spot deep within the woods. There, standing upright, is a door. It's not attached to any house or building, just a large, heavy, old wooden door, bound tightly with chains and bolts, out of place and eerie. Cain is already standing in front of it, staring at it curiously. Evelyn and Red are both puzzled. Who would lock a door in the middle of the forest? Why is it here? Evelyn, being fascinated by woodcraft and antiques, becomes intrigued by the door. Despite its ominous look, she suggests taking it home so she can restore it, maybe even repurpose it for their house. Red agrees. They load the door into their vehicle and bring it back home. Over the next 3 days, Evelyn works hard on restoring the door. She sands, scrubs, paints, and fixes it until it looks brand new. Since they needed a closet door in one of their rooms anyway, Red installs it there. Meanwhile, Cain's suspension ends, and Evelyn gets him ready for school again. But strange things begin to happen. When Evelyn opens the closet to grab Cain's jacket, she notices a foul smell coming from inside. She asks Cain if he left food or something rotten in his pockets, but he denies it. Thinking it might just be the shoes, she dismisses it. However, later that day, something more unsettling happens. While returning from grocery shopping, Evelyn reaches into her pocket to grab her car keys and instead pulls out several maggots. Terrified and confused, she quickly throws off the jacket. The bugs seem to have come from nowhere. The experience leaves her deeply disturbed. That evening, she brings it up with Red. She suspects Cain may be behind the prank, although she's not sure. Red promises to talk to Cain and see if he's hiding something. Later that night, Evelyn walks into the kitchen and sees a shadowy figure standing in the dark. Startled, she flips on the light, only to find Cain standing there. She asks him why he's awake. Cain says he's been having nightmares about a monster chasing him. Evelyn gently calms him, tells him there are no such things as monsters, and tucks him back into bed, singing him a lullaby. As she leaves his room, something strange happens again. An unseen hand slowly reaches out from inside the closet. It doesn't touch Evelyn, but the presence is clearly felt. The next morning, Uriah arrives again. This time, he warns that the house was never spiritually cleansed. He insists a full ritual must be done, or something bad might happen. During the preparation, Uriah notices the newly installed door and asks where it came from. Evelyn tells him they found it in the forest. His reaction is immediate, deep concern. He gestures that the door holds dark energy and must be removed at once. But before they can do anything, the lights in the house suddenly flicker and go out, plunging them into darkness. It's a warning. Later, when Red returns home, Evelyn tells him about Uriah's warning. Red still doesn't believe in such things, but agrees to remove the door, just not right away. He says he'll take it down over the weekend. Evelyn hesitantly agrees, but in her heart, the fear is growing. The next day, Evelyn visits the local library, hoping to learn if there's any history or legend connected to strange events in the town. She speaks with the librarian and asks about old stories, urban legends, or anything related to disappearances or haunted places. The librarian tells her about a haunted bridge nearby, a mysterious well, and eventually, about a chilling story. 20 years ago, several children from the town went missing. No one ever found out what happened to them. Evelyn asks if there are any records or articles about it, and the librarian promises to send her the documents once they're located in the archive. That night, Evelyn tells Red what she learned. But Red brushes it off, saying she's starting to believe in too many ghost stories, probably influenced by Uriah. He's frustrated and doesn't take it seriously. The following morning, something strange happens again. The door they installed, which Evelyn had carefully repainted, now shows signs of the paint peeling off, almost as if it's rotting. Both Evelyn and Red are surprised. Evelyn suspects something is wrong with the paint, but it feels deeper than that, unnatural. Later that day, when Red and Cain leave for school and work, Evelyn is alone at home. As she continues working, a disturbing scene unfolds. A little girl, clearly ghostly, wanders the house. Evelyn doesn't see her at first, but when the girl disappears into the closet where the mysterious door's installed, Evelyn hears a strange noise. She cautiously opens the door, but finds no one inside. Just then, she receives a message from Cain's school. Evelyn rushes there and meets with Principal Rayleigh again. Cain has been suspended, again, for getting into a fight and severely beating another student. Evelyn is deeply upset. Something is clearly wrong with her son. She takes Cain home. That evening, she and Red talk about what to do. Red suggests taking Cain with him to work the next day, hoping the experience will teach him some discipline. The next day, Red takes Cain to the construction site. Meanwhile, Evelyn receives the old newspaper articles from the library. As she reads through them, a terrible realization sinks in. Among the children who disappeared 20 years ago was a young girl named Maggie. Her mother still lives in town. Determined to find answers, Evelyn visits the woman. Maggie's mother is shocked when Evelyn tells her she found a strange door in the woods and brought it home. She immediately becomes angry and frightened. She explains that 20 years ago, her daughter Maggie used to visit an abandoned house deep in the woods, a place many believed to be haunted. Despite her warnings, Maggie kept going there. One day, like several other children, she vanished. Desperate and furious, Maggie's mother set the house on fire. Everything burned, except the door. The door wouldn't catch fire, so she buried it deep underground. But the next day, it was back, standing exactly where it had been. That's when she chained it shut and hid the key. She believed it was cursed, a gateway to something evil. Now that Evelyn has brought it home, she warns, "You've made a terrible mistake. That door should never have been disturbed. It hasn't claimed a child in 20 years. Until now." Evelyn rushes home in panic, only to receive a text from Red saying he already dropped Cain back at the house. Her heart sinks. She calls Red and tells him the truth. They've released something dangerous, but by the time they get home, it's too late. Cain is gone. Evelyn and Red return home to find Cain missing. The closet door is open, but their son is nowhere to be found. They contact the police and file a report, but Evelyn knows deep inside, this is no ordinary disappearance. The door, the dreams, the warnings. Cain didn't run away, he was taken. In desperation, Evelyn calls Uriah, the only person who might understand what's really going on. When he arrives, she and Red explain everything that's happened: Cain's behavior, the nightmares, the door, and Maggie's mother's story. Uriah confirms their fears. The door is a portal, a gateway to a different realm ruled by something dark and ancient. But there's still a chance to bring Cain back. Uriah explains that they must return the door to the exact place they found it. There, a ritual can be performed to contact the spirit world and negotiate Cain's return. Time is limited. The longer Cain remains in that realm, the harder it will be to reach him. That night, the three of them carry the door back into the woods, to the spot where it originally stood. Uriah begins the ritual. He chants in signs and gestures, drawing on symbols of ancient protection. As the ritual intensifies, a spirit appears, the gatekeeper. Uriah communicates with it, asking to speak with the one who took Cain. The gatekeeper is silent at first, but after more chanting, it finally allows them to make contact. But to enter the other world, they must give up something: the key. Uriah places the old key on the ground. It vanishes instantly. The door creaks open by itself. The world around them goes dark. Uriah lights a lantern, and they see haunting visions, ghostly glimpses of the many children who had gone missing over the years. The three step through the door and cross into a shadow world. This strange realm is not just dark. It's alive with fear. It's where the children's souls are trapped, hunted by the monstrous entity that feeds off their fear. Evelyn and Red search through the realm, eventually coming face to face with the demon. It's twisted, ancient, and terrifying. Uriah, who somehow knows its language, tries to strike a deal. The demon refuses at first. It says it only feeds on children's fear. Adults are useless to it, Evelyn begs. Red offers to take Cain's place, but the creature laughs. It doesn't want sacrifices, it wants fear. Then, the demon asks Evelyn, "What are you willing to give?" Without hesitation, she replies, "Anything." The demon offers a deal. It will return Cain, but in exchange, Evelyn and Red must obey its will whenever called upon. They must allow it access to more fear, more children. Desperate to save their son, Evelyn agrees. She signs the deal, not in ink, but in soul. Suddenly the door opens behind them. Cain is released, unharmed but shaken. The family escapes back to the real world. Uriah tells them it's done, but their lives are no longer their own. He refuses to stay in the town any longer and warns them never to disobey the pact. The next day, Evelyn and Cain leave town to start over, but Red stays behind. He has a job to do. In the final moments, we see him restoring the cursed door, freshly painted and flawless. He installs it in the hallway of a school, the very place filled with innocent, fearful children. He walks away without a word. What no one knows is that the demon has been set free once again. From now on, it will lure innocent children into its dark world, a place no one can find, because these children won't just go missing, they will vanish into a realm that exists beyond this world, and no one will ever be able to bring them back. So, this was the story of this film. We hope you enjoyed our recap. Do share your thoughts about the story in the comments. Every like, comment, and subscription motivates us a lot.